Hi, welcome to another session of Road 200. So two buildings, one 32 meters in height, another 48 meters in height. Okay, above the ground. 50 meters from each other. Two rods are placed. One on top, from the top of one building to the bottom of the other, and the other from top of the second building to the bottom of the first. They touch at a point. Find the height above the ground at which the rods touch. You want this particular height. Now this 50 is immaterial. There's a formula also which is there for solving this. But let's first solve by similarity of triangles. Whenever you see a triangles, normally similarity is the most common thing that is used. To check out what is similar, if you look at, let the height be x. So if you look at this A, B, C, D, and let's say E, F. You can make out that triangle A, B, D is similar to triangle E, F, D. Right angle triangle with one angle common, D angle common. So from that you should be able to make out that this whole length, okay, let this be A and B length. So I'm using it with a 50. 50 is not required. You can use a 50, but 50 is not required. So you can make out that 32 upon A plus B is equal to X upon B. 32 upon A plus B is equal to X upon B. Similarly, if you use triangle CDB is similar to triangle EFB, you will get 48 upon A plus B is equal to X upon A. You can write this as A upon A plus B upon X upon 48. Similarly, you can write this as B upon A plus B upon 32 upon X upon 32. Now add the two equations. So when you add the two equations, you get A upon A plus B upon B plus B, A plus B is equal to X upon 32 plus X upon 48. Now A upon A plus B upon A plus B is 1. So if this is 1, you'll get 1. This will be X, you can take common. You'll get 32 plus 48 upon 32 into 48. Or you can get X is 32 into 48 upon 32 plus 48, which if you solve, okay, down is 80, up is 32 into 48, 10, 8, you will get 19.2. Okay, 8 into 32 divided by 10 will give you 19.2. Sorry, 19.6. I'm sorry. Just give me a minute. 88, 6, sorry, not 8, 6. Yeah, so 19.2 will be the answer. So 32 into 6 is 192. 192 upon 10 is 19.2. So generally the formula out here X is, A plus B into AB. So which is 32 into 48 upon 32 plus 48. Not an important formula. I don't rely on formulas, because if there's any twist in the sum, you should be able to try to solve it. But yes, this is a way you can solve. Try to derive the formula and try to get the answer. Every day A runs on a track. The moment he starts running, his friend starts running on the opposite end. Okay, and they meet in 20 seconds. So when A runs 20 seconds, they meet. So let's say A runs from here and B runs from here, or his friend runs from here. So once the friend starts 10 seconds later, so technically that means the friend should reach this particular point in 30 seconds. The friend should reach this particular point in 30 seconds if he keeps running. Okay, and he meets A in 24 seconds. Okay, he meets A in 24 seconds. That means A, who reaches this point is 20 seconds, reaches this point in 24 seconds. So he takes 4 seconds to cover this distance. Whereas friend will take 6 seconds to cover this distance, because from 24 to 36. So time taken by A and a friend is 4 seconds and 6 seconds. So speed will be reversed, 6 and 4, which is 3:2. A option. I'll repeat again. Both are supposed to meet at 20 seconds. Okay, but since friend started 10 seconds late, they meet at 24 seconds. That means A has covered 4 seconds extra. A has covered 4 seconds extra. The same distance the friend has to cover in 6 seconds, because he has to reach the meeting point in 30 seconds. 20 plus 10, 30. So when A covers the distance in 4 seconds, friend covers in 6 seconds. Ratio of the speed is inverse 6:4 or 3:2. Get the answer. Cost of one eraser, 3 pens and 7 pencils is 28. Cost of one eraser, 4 pens and 10 pencils is 34. We want cost of one eraser, 1 pen, 1 pencil. Normally, if such two equations and technically not solvable, but there is ways where you can subtract and maybe sometime get the answer, not always. The fact that we have an answer option, that means it is solvable. Always take a higher number. 7 and 10. How do I subtract 7 and 10 from each other to get a value 1? Think of that. How do I subtract 7 and 10 from each other to get a value 1? The simplest I can think of is 7 3s are 21 and 10 2s are 20. Subtract and get 1. You can also maybe take 10 5s are 50 and 7 7s are 49. Subtraction is 1. But the second case, the erasers will not get 1. Whereas in the first case, 3 and 2, the erasers also will become 1. So let's look at the first case. So that means you multiply the first equation by 3, second equation by 2. As I said, it's always easier to take the higher number, 7 and 10. I took 7 and 10 because the numbers are high. So it's easy to find out a combination to get 1 or whatever the required value. Find out. So you get 3 erasers minus 2 eraser, 1 eraser. 3 3s are 9 pens, 8 pens, 1 pen. 7 3s are 21 pencils, minus 20 pencils will give you 1 pencil, which will be equal to 28 3s are 84, 34 2s are 68. If we subtract, we'll get 16. So answer will be 16. So look at a higher value to get the combination, whatever number required. It's easier to get that way. How many 3-letter words can be formed with distinct letters from the letters of the word combined? So check out how many distinct letters are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. O and N are repeated. So 7 letters. So in that case, 7p3, or you can say 7 into 6 into 5, 210. Since the 7 letters and you want to find 3-letter word. So first letter can be 7 ways, second letter can be 6 ways, third letter can be 5 ways. So answer will be 7 into 6 into 5, which is 210. Line PQ with center O is drawn. Okay. Circle with diameter PQ. Diameter OP and OQ are drawn. And a circle with center T and touching the 3 sides exactly once are drawn. That's the only way you can draw circle. What's the ratio of radius of the smallest circle? It is the upper, smallest to the largest circle. Now if you notice, technically it should be obviously more than 1:2. Okay, so 1:2 definitely more, but there are quite all the options around that. So let's just try to solve it. Okay, if I draw a triangle like this, okay, let the radius of the middle circle be R. So R. Okay, this whole thing will be 2R. Okay, because then the radius of the bigger circle will be 2R. Okay, big circle. So medium circle will be R, half of it. Let a smaller circle be R. That means this will be R. So the height out here will be 2R minus R. And this will be R plus R, because joining the centers of the circle. So R plus R. So it is a right angle triangle. So R plus R, the whole square should be R square plus 2R minus R the whole square. Right angle triangle, Pythagoras triple. It makes sense to substitute and check out. For example, if I substitute 1 and 3, bigger circle. So R will be 1.5, small r will be 1. Substitute out here. This will be 2.5, R will be 1.5, and 2R minus 1 will be 2. So we look at 1.5 to 1.5R, nothing but in the ratio of 3:4:5. Pythagoras triplets. So it satisfies the right angle triangle. So D is the answer. You can solve and still get the answer. I'm not saying no, but it makes sense to substitute and check out a triplet. The moment you get a triplet, that will be the answer. Right? The moment you get a triplet, that will be the answer. You can obviously eliminate maybe a few options. 1:4, 1:5 may not be possible because this radius or this diameter doesn't look to be the half of the bigger radius. But anyway, you can just substitute the options and find out where you get triplets and from there derive the answer. Right? Thank you.